Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has finally arrived, and I'm thrilled to embark on this extraordinary journey. It is undeniably the most highly anticipated game since the system's launch, and the wait is finally over. Now, as someone who has reviewed 542 Switch games over the past 5 years on this channel, I can confidently say that this one holds a special place. Together, let's immerse ourselves into this captivating world. So in this Zelda Diaries series, we're going to be diving into roughly 5 hours of gameplay per episode, and it's just going to allow us to thoroughly explore and appreciate the game's depth and enjoy this adventure together. Now, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing and liking the video. This is definitely a new direction for the channel, and let's get started. Before we proceed, I must issue a spoiler warning for this episode. We will be discussing the opening sequence and my experience this far. This episode will cover the incredible, what I'd consider tutorial on location, and please also note that there may be spoilers for events from Breath of the Wild. Now that the spoiler warning is out of the way, I'll be diving into everything leading up to our first arrival in Hyrule. From the moment you boot up the game though, Nintendo's confidence shines through. Rather than a traditional menu screen, you're immediately thrust into the action, and it's a simple yet stylish black screen proudly displaying Nintendo Presents Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's reminiscent of the iconic Breath of the Wild opening. It's just a goosebump-inducing moment that sets the tone for the experience ahead. Next then was a surprise. We load into the world, and we are God-tier Link equipped with maximum hearts, stamina, and the legendary Master Sword sheathed to our back. This is very clear. It is pretty much immediately picking up after the events of Breath of the Wild. As the game began though, I couldn't help but wish here in this moment Zelda's dialogue was maybe a little more concise. While her information is of course interesting, I was eager to jump into the action. You just gave me the Master Sword and every heart I could want. In one room, she frequently interrupted my progress, which definitely became slightly frustrating. Condensing this important information into a quick cutscene probably would have improved the flow. Thankfully, this doesn't last long, and the setup does start to take shape. We learn about the legend of the Demon King, the Sinai race who resided in the clouds above Hyrule, and it appears we had some sort of relationship in place between the people and, I guess, this new location. Of course, it wouldn't be Zelda if things didn't go wrong, so shortly after, we come face to face with a godly-like figure, and in a not surprising turn of events, we witness the shattering of the iconic Master Sword, and as a result then as well, a mysterious curse befalls us. It affects our arm, and it alters our abilities. Gotta say here as well quickly, the cutscenes here, they look absolutely stunning. As this is occurring though, our location begins to ascend into the sky, carrying us of course away from the familiar realm that we do know, and in the aftermath as well, Zelda disappears, leaving us alone to face the challenges that lie ahead. Of course, once again though, here we assume the role and now are the weakest form of Link, and it's kind of that classic setup in the world of Zelda, start from the bottom and work our way up. So here's really where the gameplay starts. We start anew in a cave, we rediscover the now useless Master Sword while learning the basics of movement, and then what follows is a truly remarkable sequence. We emerge from the cave, we find ourselves thousands of feet above the world, faced with a daunting leap of faith. It is a moment reminiscent of Assassin's Creed where Link displays his confidence or perhaps a touch of recklessness, just kind of diving off the edge. We are given though the choice here to descend gracefully or dive with urgency, aiming to land safely in the water and avoid a disastrous impact on solid ground. This spectacle, in my opinion, is just unparalleled. Link soaring through the sky, accompanied by the game's logo and an unforgettable music score that adds to the epic atmosphere. What impresses me as well is this is maybe 20 minutes in, but this moment was a turning point for me, signifying that we have surpassed the limitations of, I guess, Breath of the Wild and the constraints imposed by the Wii U. Not only do we visually understand the newfound, I guess, freedom we will experience in the journey ahead, but even the visual presentation is impressive. The draw distance here allows us to see everything, and the answer I found at this moment was, while it may be the same Hyrule map, the changes are clearly substantial, and there are more than a few floating locations ahead of us to uncover. So finally, we are on one of the first floating islands, and what I would consider to be an impressive tutorial area that just surpasses expectations. It spanned nearly 5 hours for me as it reintroduces the basics while also revealing the incredible capabilities of our now corrupted arm. This is essentially the Slate from Breath of the Wild. Additionally as well, we do stumble across the pad serving as our map, inventory system and more. Our primary objective though here is to reach the Temple of Time, a prominent location in the distance. We do get there and soon realise however that we lack the necessary power to proceed, and this sets us on a smaller-ish, I guess, journey to acquire a series of abilities and enhancements to overcome this new obstacle. Basically, it's a door you can't push, we need that extra strength. To acquire the required power, we must visit 4 shrines, each introducing a unique ability. These powers grant us the ability to manipulate and construct our surroundings, manipulate time itself, teleport vertically through platforms, which is as awesome as it sounds, honestly, and then even fuse items with our weapons for incredible strength. These new abilities just offer immense potential for traversal and solving environmental puzzles. Really excited now to see where they take them. One of the game's greatest accomplishments thus far is the sense of freedom it provides. Rather than, giving you all of the solutions, the game encourages experimentation and creativity. During my 5-hour stay in the area, I found myself trying different approaches and crafting unique solutions, and I now actually recognize I could have probably easily overcome this area in a couple of hours, but I was just simply too busy messing around. One of my favourite experiments, or maybe stupidest, depending on how you look at it, was attempting to create a flying platform, and though it didn't quite succeed, it was definitely good fun trying. I was attempting to strap 4 engines to a plank of wood, and these engines are an early introduction for the game known as Sonai devices. No doubt there's going to be a lot more kind of in the variety of these, and they will most likely be essential to progress. I've also though seen things like portable flamethrowers and stoves, and strapping a flamethrower to the front of your shield may be my new favourite trick thanks to the fuse ability. I might not have succeeded here as well, but I do believe that when I look back at this game, these are the moments that I will remember. Fortunately though, on the back of that, I did experience moments of success in my endeavours of ingenuity and creativity. I was able to construct powered minecarts, build bridges, even fashion a boat by chopping down trees. However, the highlight for me was when I launched across the world using a flying device. Although I could have easily utilised fast travel at that point, I couldn't resist this more unconventional means of transportation. In terms of combat, the opening section places a strong emphasis on engaging with the population of constructs. These are robotic beings that basically perceive us as intruders. The combat system remains largely unchanged from Breath of the Wild. However, a frustrating aspect quickly reappears, and that is the frequent breakage of weapons. Personally, I find this mechanic annoying, as I constantly must navigate quick access menus to equip the next available branch, sword or stick in line. It's not all perfect either. Visually, the game's presentation has its flaws. Playing on a monitor, I noticed that some of the details lack clarity, with pixelated shadows as an example. Also, there's occasional fluctuations in the frame rate. While it is commendable that the game even runs on the Switch, compromises are evident at certain moments. Additionally, I wish they had evolved the combat even further, especially in terms of the dodge mechanic. It's always left me wanting more. I doubt it's coming in the later game, but never say never. One question that arises for me now though is, how will I eventually return to these locations? Some enemies and areas far surpass my current abilities. I faced a boss that overwhelmed me swiftly, and even with food providing temperature resistance, I perished instantly when I hit freezing water. Finding suitable clothing for traversing different environments definitely remains a struggle. Also, some of the trade offers from characters that I've seen, it just often requires inventory items I do not possess, so this is all me presuming I will be coming back. However, as we finally do gain access to the Temple of Time and descend into Hyrule, another fantastic leap of faith moments, it's clear to conclude this section the skills we've acquired this far just hold immense potential. It's also incredibly impressive how big Hyrule is as a location. You get a newfound appreciation for it as you are barreling through the sky towards it. But yeah, that wraps up our first video today, and I hope you enjoyed this departure from our usual content here on the channel. I wanted to take you on this journey together instead of rushing towards a quick review. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has been highly anticipated, and I am genuinely excited to savor every single moment of the experience. Stay tuned here for more videos as we delve deeper into the world of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and if you did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Your support, it goes a long way, especially when we're trying something new such as this. And if this content is not for you as well, let me know that in the comments too. So with that, join us here for reviews, deals, lists, and Zelda Diaries, it appears daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.